Our own Reverend Joanne is going to talk about the 3 R's: renew, review, rejoice. So let's rejoice that Reverend Joanne is coming up.
Thank you, Reverend Tress. You get a hand. Oh, I see your note here, Edith. Okay. Have to get a techie on this. I need to be able to lock my screen so it doesn't go sideways on me. I'm going to see Maurice after. He'll figure that out. He knows that. Okay. Now I got to find it. Found it. Good morning, beautiful people. I hope you had an amazing Christmas. And, you think that you could rest now, but no, going to ramp it up because now it's New Year's. I always felt like Christmas was for my kids and my family, and New Year's was for me. That was in the days when I could stay up till midnight. But it is truly an honor and a privilege to see everybody here today. And I invite you to join me in an opening affirmative prayer. Let's begin by taking a deep, cleansing breath. And as we exhale, let's drop into our hearts where there is only truth. As I affirm and know there is only one God, one source, one all that is, all that peace, power, supreme intelligence. There is only one, and I am one with that Spirit. Therefore, I am and you are power, peace, and intelligence. I remember the words of the great teacher Jesus who said, "All these things I have done, you will do, only greater." And I make that my purpose, my mission, and my joy. I know and declare that all the joy, love, and support needed to review, renew, and rejoice is here right now. It's in every person I meet, in every smile I see. I know with certainty that I am not alone. And as I reveal my true self, I am revealing the gift of who I am. With great gratitude for this truth, for the great teachers in my life, for my family and friends, I say thank you. I am humbly moved by the gift of your presence. And with divine certainty, I let this go, knowing as I do, it rises up and rains down on all who claim this as their truth. And it brings peace into their souls. In harmony we state, and so it is. And namaste, amen. Let's take a quiet moment to send loving kindness to all those who need to know they are loved. Bring them into your heart, silently saying their names and seeing their joyful faces. Thank you. So I wanted to call my talk something that started with re, because re means do over. Doesn't mean you did something wrong. You just want more of that. So I called it renew, review, and revise, and rejoice. Can you believe it's almost another year? 2025. Wow. I remember when the year 2000 hit, and we thought, that's it, our computers are all going to crash. And so we went out to this cabin out by Rocky, and we had had power, and we had wood, and we were sure everything's going to crash at midnight. But it didn't. But the most remarkable thing happened. I was with my son and daughter. I had Sarah and Tyler with me, and they were about 7 and 8. And there was a butterfly in this community cabin where we could all go to eat, and it had a fire in the middle, and it was freezing because I was the fire maker and I wasn't very good. But there was this butterfly flying around, and we thought that was just a miracle because it was New Year's Day. And it disappeared. We never knew where it went. And we got home, and my son opened his hockey bag, which was his suitcase, and out flew this butterfly. And it flew around my house for about a week. I tried to phone every nature place I could think of. Nobody wanted a rogue butterfly because apparently they could have a cold or something, a disease. So nobody took it, and we lost it. And then Easter came, and I have verticals in my living room, and I just turn them. I don't always open them. But at Easter, I opened the verticals, and there was the butterfly. It had died, and it was in the little track. I hate to say I didn't clean my track for 3 months. But it was so long ago that we had cassettes. So I put that butterfly in a cassette case, and it sits in my Reiki room. And it's a reminder about rebirth and about renew. So let's take a chance, an opportunity today, and when you leave here today, to renew what didn't work, to renew it, to review it and revise it, and then rejoice in it. And you might want to think, well, what's in that for me? Why do I want to hash up some old stuff? But it's not about rehashing, it's about remembering who you are, and finding gratitude and forgiveness in all of that. Renew translates into rejuvenate, regenerate, reinstate. Wow. So renew isn't about doing something new, it's about regenerating what you already have. So renew means to bring something back to its former self. Like when you were 12 years old, full of vim and vigor. My mom would say piss and vinegar. But you could play in the playground and skip and jump and play ball against the wall till the cows came home. And that's what we want to renew. We want to make something the way it formerly was. And I wanted to review it and revise it because when I looked up the translation of that, it means to bring it back to life in consciousness. And there was a time when I wouldn't even know what that meant. But it does mean that it happens in your mind and it happens in your body before it happens outside of you. So it means to bring something back to life in consciousness, in full strength. And then, of course, rejoice. That's my favorite. It's about celebrating and being happy and finding joy in life, and more than finding it, sharing it, smiling at somebody. So let's help each other through this year and today to renew our faith, to restore hope, to revive love, and to rejuvenate joy. There's so many examples about renew. The 2 books I personally refer to are this one, Ernest Holmes' The Science of Mind. Looks daunting, but it's like 4 books inside there. And the Bible. So I'm going to quote some things from both of them. I love to find a word and just kind of experiment with it. See what it says online about it. See what it says in the Bible. The first thing I found was Ephesians. And it says, be renewed in the spirit of your mind. and that you can be a new man created. Wow, how come I didn't read that when I was going to those traditional churches? I never heard the word spirit or mind. And in the book of Psalms it says, create in me a clean heart and renew a steadfast spirit in me. Review means to look at it again. Revive means to be vibrant. And rejoice, and do it over and over again. I often say there's nothing that you have to add to your life. So many people go out there and they think, I want to attract something to me. Well, guess what? You will not attract what you are not. So if you want to attract wisdom, love, kindness, be that. Because that's truly what you're doing. You're attracting who you are. And to do that, you just have to remember who you are. You have to reconnect with your source. And breathe new life into it. And then rejoice. How many times do you celebrate every little accomplishment? Just coming here today, oh, rejoice in that. I'm rejoicing that so many people decided to get up and come today. So there's a couple of ideas I think we can merge on how we can review, renew, and rejoice. One of them's physical, and the other one's mental. We talk a lot here about the mental, the power of the mind. But what about the body? You know, I was thinking about this TED Talk I saw by Amy Cuddy, and she says that our nonverbal cues govern how we think and feel about ourselves. Our bodies change our minds. Imagine that. And the one thing that she talks about is different power stances. And the one I want to talk about is one that I saw on Saturday Night Live. And I think it was Molly Shannon that did this on Saturday Night Live. And she would do this, and she was a superstar. She would go, superstar, on Saturday Night Live. And I when I saw that, it always made me smile. And Amy Cuddy said the same thing. This is a power stance. And if you're ever worried about going somewhere, going into an interview, going into a room where you don't know anybody, go into the bathroom first. And look in the mirror if there's nobody there. And if not, go into a stall. And I want you to just do that. Just lift your arms up in a V. You are a superstar. And that opens your chest up. It opens your heart chakra up. It opens your crown up. It is just the most amazing exercise you can do. Imagine that. That's exercise. Our nonverbal governs how we feel about ourselves. Our bodies change our minds. And not surprisingly, in the science of mind teaching, that I don't have a picture of, but if you've ever taken a class, there's a big circle. And it encompasses God and everything it is. And inside of that is a big V. And it signifies the descent of spirit into matter, into us. And so when we teach about changing our mind, we say we have to change it in everything. We have to change it in our ether, in our energy, in our aura. We have to change it in our bodies. And so if we do that and we open ourselves to that change, that's a spiritual mind treatment. You know, the spiritual mind treatment and the science of mind can help you get your R and R and R, because it's what you D, and D. You can review, renew, and rejoice because it's what you deserve, desire, and declare. And the science in the science of mind, it's more than science because it studies what we can't see. That's what makes it a philosophy. It's more than a religion because it teaches us what we can't see isn't something magical. It's something we can create from our mind. So, science of mind, it's more than science because it studies what we can see, and it's more than religion because it studies what we can't see. It's a process. This science of mind and body is merging heaven and earth. It says over there, there's a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it. But if it takes something physical to bring it into being, that's okay too. You know, when I think about Carmen, I can't remember her name. I took a course with Carmen at her house, Haniel. We did this whole thing about yawning. And when she said to relax your body, she would say to us, you know, just imagine you're yawning. And as you're yawning, you kind of stretch and open yourself. And isn't that also opening all your chakras and all your crown chakras? And if one of you yawns, I know that we'll all yawn. Was that Haniel? Okay, it opens up your throat. Okay. Oh, that is good information. You can't see that online. She says that's your angel speak, not just your mind. So when you yawn, you also sometimes raise your hands over your head, and you can be like Molly Shannon, a superstar. So I hope you all are R&R because you D and D it. But don't just listen to me. I mean, you can read it in the Bible, you can read it in Ernest Holmes' book. I'm just a messenger, and I happen to like talking, so I thought, this is the message I'm going to bring. So now that I told you that secret, that we can do it, I have to tell you that it's really, really simple. Doesn't it sound simple? But it's not easy. Because you have to work on it every single day. It's a constant work in progress. And do you know why that is? Not because we've done anything wrong, but because there's this race-conscious thought. We call the media, we call Facebook. All of that impacts how we think and how we feel. So that's the hard part, is to not listen to all that inundation. I know somebody you could talk to about that after during lunch. Because I don't think we realize how much information we're being bombarded with. And we don't have the ability to filter it. So we take it all in, and then we wonder why we feel so heavy in this world. It's because it's not ours to carry. So just open up and let go. And you know, it's not up to me. It's not even up to you. It's up to all of us to find truth. There's nothing to heal, only the truth to reveal. I was doing a meditation this morning, and it was about love, and it was about being in a sea of love. And at the end, he said, everything you do and say, think to yourself, what would love do in this situation? And I had some triggers over the holidays, and I thought, what would love do? Well, love wouldn't react. It would respond in kind. And when can you start doing this? Renew, review, and rejoice? Well, you can start right now. A couple of days ago, I reconnected with a girlfriend that I grew up with, and we hadn't talked to each other for a long time, and she had some of the same struggles as me, and 40 years ago we met in Vernon, and we lived together for a little bit, and she found me on Facebook, and she goes, Joanne, you're a minister? I said, yeah. They let hippies be ministers? I said, yeah. And she says, remember whenever you got upset with something, you would just move? I said, yeah. I had hitchhiked from Ontario to Fort McMurray, then somebody made me mad, so I hitchhiked to Vernon. Then I didn't like that, so I took a train to Kitimat, and I didn't like that, so I took a bus to Alex. And then my sister drove me to Red Deer and dropped me off and said, you can't live with me forever. So then I met somebody, and I got married, and I moved to Lacombe. And I call that my forever home, because I did buy myself a place to live that I own, and also it's where my ashes are going to be in my Colombian niche. So it truly is my forever home. And she says, well, how did you get to be a minister? And I told her the one thing I did was I stopped running from myself. And I remember when I was having menopause once, and oh yeah, I had it for more than once. But I wasn't married anymore. But my doctor said to me, she was a woman, and she says, you know, the bummer about it is you can leave, but you're still there. She says, yeah, wherever you go, there you are. So I was talking to my girlfriend Debbie about that, and I said, you know, I think that's truly what it is. It's wherever you go, there you are. Doesn't matter where you go, you're still there. And if you stop running, you'll find out what Spirit's plan is for your life. You don't know, your God self knows, but you have to stop long enough to listen. In the prophet Hosea says, come, let us return to Spirit. It will heal us, it will revise us, and it will raise us up so that we may live. So let us know, let us press on to know good. Let us know that good is going forth as certain as the dawn, and it will come to us like rain, like the spring watering the earth. When I read that, I thought, wow, that's what Ernest Holmes says. That's the thing itself, which is the first chapter, the thing itself. So it tells us to return to source. It's all there, everything we need to start new. And whether you call source God, Allah, Buddha, Muhammad, ISIS, it doesn't matter. Because there's a place where all religion and new thought meets. And it's called love. Everything intersects at truth and love. Those are absolutes. Ernest Holmes goes on to say, so that was the thing itself, creator, whatever you call creator. And in the way it works, in Revelations it says, behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come in to him and eat with him and him with me. And you might think, well, how does that translate into our teaching? Ernest Holmes says, this tells us we can only receive all the good the universe has to offer if we're willing to be open to it. To change our consciousness, to be more than we are physically, to be who we are spiritually. That's the way it works. Open the door of your heart and your mind and let it in. And the third chapter Ernest Holmes talks about is what it does. Well, Matthew talks about this in chapter 6, verse 33. And this was the first gospel in which they were teaching. He says, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. Ernest Holmes translates that to remind us that we are part of a greater good. And the kingdom you're looking for, it's within. So look within. So that's the first two. The thing itself, what it does. The way it works. Now it's what it does. So we can only get what we can open the door to. We are part of something greater than we ever know. We can call it whatever we want. It intersects at truth and love and how to use it. In Psalms it says, this is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Well, how to use it is to be grateful. Ernest Holmes says, in all things be grateful. For your lessons, for your gifts, for what we're grateful for expands. And in Philippians, it goes on to say, rejoice always. Again, I say rejoice. Let your reasonableness be known to everyone. What the heck did that mean? Let your reasonableness be known to everyone. Ernest Holmes says, accept everyone at face value. Accept everyone with 100% until they give you a reason to take away one. Don't give them anything less than 100% of yourself, of your attention, and of your time. And if you do that with people, if you give them that, they will have peace in their heart. So during January, I'm going to expand on those 4 chapters. The thing itself, the way it works, what it does, and how to use it. And I hope you can join me. Oh, I have so many quotes from Ernest Holmes, but I'm going to tell you those in the next 4 weeks. So how can you renew yourself today when you leave? Find a creative outlet, whether it's cooking, writing, coloring, singing, playing guitar. Find your creative outlet and put it on your calendar. I take time to be creative. Learn something new. Learn something you've always wanted to learn, whether it's reading a book. Learn something new. Help others. Find your creative outlet. Learn something new. Help someone else. And the greatest thing you can do is just get outside for a few minutes. Wow, nature is the great healer. And if you renew those 3 things, you're going to find a youthful spirit coming back to life. They've studied a lot about renewing yourself, which is through creativity, through learning something new. And how about reviving and reviewing what didn't work and reviving it? Well, I think the way you can do that is just think positive. Reviving is something you do for yourself. So think positive. And go crazy. Do some fun. Do something crazy within boundaries. Do something safe and crazy, uninhibited. Be a free spirit. Turn up the radio in your car and sing to the top of your lungs. Turn the radio up in your house and dance all over the house. Dance like nobody's watching. Think positive. Go crazy. And when you're having downtime, meditate. And I don't mean sit in a Buddha position, put on a CD. I'm saying be present. Whether you're doing dishes, whether you're cooking, whether you're driving your car, use those times to just be with yourself. And ignore all the rules because you're not an aspiring Buddhist or a Catholic nun. You just want to enjoy your free time. I call them mini meds. You could benefit from that, a couple of mini meds, just letting yourself be with yourself. So review and revise yourself with a positive outlook. Have some crazy fun. Start meditating in your own way. And just like the last one, be kind to yourself and others. And then rejoice. That's the last thing you can do, and it's essential because it means you have faith in yourself, you have faith in humanity, you have hope. It's a pure and simple delight just to be alive. Joy is an elevated response to happiness. And you can invite joy into your life by going to more celebrations. When somebody says, do you want to go to something and you're tired, maybe say yes. Or if nobody invites you, have your own party. Invite people over to your house. And toast a lot. My sister and I toast every time we're together. Cheers. Cheers. Let's do that today when we have lunch. With your coffee, toast each other. It says, I see the divine in you. Cheers. And don't forget to dance. Because life's not supposed to be endured. It's supposed to be enjoyed. Osho says, happiness comes from within. It's a spiritual dimension in which you begin to understand value and your place in the universe. Accepting joy is a decision you make to go with the flow. So, because God is infinite, everything you ever want is available to you. The re means there's nothing outside of you that you need that you don't already have within. If you want more of whatever you desire, bring it out first. That's the law of attraction. That's the law of vibration. Be the change you want to see in the world. And affirm these steps of affirmative prayer. God is, I am. I know the truth of who I am. I'm grateful and I'm faithful. And I let it go. And so it is. I am Reverend Joanne, faith, peace, and love, Boruck. And I'll wish you the best new year. And I'll see you in 2025. And now I'd like to ask David to come.